Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report. Every week, Fred Altvater and I check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. Anything that is hot, we have it for you. Fred, hi, how are you today?
Carlos, I'm kind of tired. I've been really busy week here, traveling around, doing some business, doing some different stuff, and just got home about 5 o'clock today and chilling for a little bit. So, but you know what? This is kind of a special back nine report for us tonight. There's a lot of news going on again. This PGL thing, we've been reporting on it. It just won't go away. What's going on with this thing, Carlos?
I don't know. We've been talking about this for the past 2 years. In reality, now it seems to be getting more and more track on it. And I think we should do a show soon about a solution that we're going to have for the PGA Tour and the European Tour about
We
this.
got the answers right here at Back Nine
We have
Report.
it, and we presented it last year. So we should revive that and maybe get there with Jay Monahan and Keith
If
Penn.
they would only listen to us, we could solve their problems.
Very easily. And now they have to deal with, there's another week, another rumor about a competitor to the PGA Tour and the European Tour that is becoming reality. Okay. After some confusion around the time of the PGA Championship about which leagues were actually involved as threats to the two biggest professional golf leagues in the world, it seems like a primary contender finally has emerged with what seems to be a real plan. We talked about the Premier Golf League, which, by the way, don't confuse it with the Super Golf League, which is closely associated with backers from Saudi Arabia, said last week that it has plans to launch at the start of 2023 with $20 million weekly purses for 12-4 golf for teams in a truncated season involving just 18 tournaments. Easy peasy, right? So that does not coincide with the major championships or the Ryder Cup. That's smart. It's really smart. Now, there are myriads detail outlined in a BBC piece that happened on Monday, and even more detail were revealed by the PGA itself. I mean, interestingly, there was even some chatter of the PGL working in conjunction with the PGA Tour and the European Tour. Ooh, some sort of superseding top shelf league, which other leagues could presumably feed into. Take it with a grain of salt, right? But let's talk. Let's discuss some of the bullet points quickly, Fred. There's going to be separate player and team championships. Both are going to be weekly and season long. 2 of 4 scores count per day per team. $1 million team bonus weekly. Oof, it's a lot of money. Potential relegation and promotion. Match play playoffs with higher seeds, choosing the team they play, 8-month seasons, and $392 million in prize money per season across the individual and team payouts, Fred. I'm going to leave it there, but how about this? I mean, it seems like the PGL is not going anywhere. It seems like they have an official start date. How about the PGL? Is it really a threat?
Well, it looks like they're pretty much drawing a line in the sand, right? I mean, the guys are going to have to decide now what they're going to do because the PGL is beginning to put pressure on them. They've opened an office in Jupiter, down there where a lot of the guys live, down there in Florida, right in the middle of the big golf action in the United States. So things are going to have to start happening maybe a little bit quicker than what we've seen. But, the PGA Tour invested $90 million in the European Tour last year to prevent the PGL from gaining a foothold in that professional golf league. Monahan has threatened players with expulsion from the PGA Tour, not just a lifetime expulsion, okay? At a players' meeting held at Charlotte before the Wells Fargo, Monahan told the players that signing with the PGL means an immediate ban and lifetime suspension from the PGA Tour. Players were also threatened with banishment from the Ryder Cup consideration, which he can do because now they got an in with the European Tour. So from the European Tour, they can say, oh, no, you can't play because you're playing in the other thing. The PGA of America controls the American side of it, which the tour has no say over. With Monahan claiming that the European Tour and its organization were of the same mind in regard to that PGL, which he can say because he's on the board of that organization. The tour set up the $40 million player impact program, the PIP, to divvy up among players that make the best use of social media and serve their sponsors on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The PGL, like I say, they're in America. They've been meeting with players for several months now, for over a year. And, they're saying, well, we're getting some interest, but no one has signed the dotted line and nobody has, said, yes, we're definitely going to do this. But what we do know, Carlos, is that from the recent interview with the CEO of the Premier Golf League, Andy Gardner, that he would like a meeting with PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan. And he said, all we want is a conversation. We've never been the enemy, but I can understand why we've been perceived as such. We'd love to be friends. I've not had that opportunity, and I would be redoubling my efforts. We want to have a conversation in the best possible way to ensure they understand where we're coming from and why we are doing it, and to ensure that nobody's feelings will be hard done.
I understand that, and the real problem that I see with that, and I mean, he's very smartly presenting this. Hey, we're not the enemy. We're here to help. You just haven't heard.
That sounds like the government. We're from the government. We're here to help you. Be aware. Be very wary.
I don't want to help. But anyway, the thing is this. If you see one thing that was said about this, or at least one of the rumors, is that the European Tour and the PGA Tour will be like feeder tours to the PGL. That's one of the rumors, right? And maybe that's what they're trying to get at, because one of the things that they're saying is, hey, look, we are not going to be competing with your majors or the Ryder Cup, so you can have those big tournaments, but we have these other tournaments here. Now, there's one thing that they have to take into consideration, because the premise of what they're proposing is that the top five, let's say it this way, the top 5 or 10% of the players generate 80 or 90% of the interest in revenue right now in golf, which, if you come to think about it, that's what they're trying to do with the PIP on the social media and all this, is the top 10 players. So when you see that, that's really what it comes down. So the reason this is unique to golf is because right now, any of those individual stars can, in theory, go form their own leagues if they wanted to. That doesn't happen in football, basketball, and baseball, because so many other players are needed to fill out rosters. But because golf is an individual sport and there are enough stars to carry something like this, it's not irrational that they could do that, form their own teams, and it really would present a very good incentive for them. So the players, so far, I think the players are just buying the corporate line, right? They're like, hey, no, we're not doing anything. But you have to think about this. They have to be, at least in the back of their mind, man, they should just talk to them. Let's see what it is. Let's see if we can do something. There's a lot of money, and I know that money speaks, and players will show up.
Well, Carlos, what is a professional golfer? He plays golf for money. Any professional athlete, they know their lifespan is so long. Golf is a little bit longer than maybe a football player, a basketball player that maybe has 5 to 8 to maybe 10 good years. A golfer can play 20 years pretty easily, from their late teens or early 20s into their early 40s, and still be pretty competitive and make a really good living on the PGA Tour if they're good enough. Now, the problem comes that as they get a little bit older and they start falling down, they still have a very saleable name, but they're not making as much money from their sponsors or from the tournament prize money. So those are the guys that are going to be looking at this and saying, if I could do this for another 4 or 5 years and crank out another, $6, $7, $8, $10 million a year, that's a nice retirement plan. That brings me to another point. What can the PGA Tour do to counteract this? Is the PGL offering a retirement plan? The PGA Tour has a dynamite retirement plan, okay? Guys that make the number of cuts that are required, their retirement plan from the PGA Tour is one of the best retirement plans ever for any business that's out there. So the guys that would leave the PGA Tour to go to the PGL could be walking away from that as well. So there's a lot of things that the PGA Tour can do to counteract it in a fight, and they're trying to do these things. But the problem is for the PGA Tour, as you said, the PGA Tour members are all independent contractors. And besides the retirement plan, the PGA Tour doesn't do a lot for the individual players. There's no guarantees. They have to make it all on their own, right? So if the PGA Tour can't hang on to their biggest names, or at least maybe 5 or 6 of them leave, some of those big names like a Justin Thomas or a Jordan Spieth or some of these big names, the TV eyeballs, the TV viewership would plummet. The sponsors who put the money in aren't going to get the return they want from their marketing efforts. So that money's going to dry up. So the purses are going to dry up for the PGA Tour. That is the real issue. That's the real problem where all this comes down to. So I don't know, that they've got to do something. I really think the PGA Tour has to make a move, a bigger move than what they've already been willing to make. And I think that's where our World Tour idea comes in and could make this thing work, because I think sponsors would jump on it. So, Carlos, there are some problems that could be created for the PGA Tour that they've got to address.
Yeah, and I still see the biggest problems that I see are what you were talking about, the banning of the players, right? But even when the PGA Tour right now has some influence on the European Tour, they do not run any of the major championships or the Ryder Cup. So a player could actually leave the PGA Tour, still play the majors, unless the organizations that run the majors stop him from doing so, right? But this coincides with the question of whether the PGL events could even get official World Golf ranking points, which are the primary way for the players to currently earn spots in major championships, right? But one of the interesting things, and this is where I believe the PGL is really appealing to who is going to definitely dictate whether the golfers will go to, is that in addition to all of this that has been proposed, the PGL is also going to let the golf community, that means golfers, operators of tournaments, and even fans, own 50% of the league. So they're going to be their partners in this. It's not that the PGL is going out there. So if you see this, it's not too dissimilar to what happens in the world of soccer globally. Also, fans will get to select the 13th team to compete each week. This team will be owned by a foundation, and its purpose is to give true greats, both men and women, the chance to storm back into the limelight, back into the headlines, and back into our hearts, right? That's their saying. So if you see this, that's going to draw interest from the fans, who are going to be like, hey, I want a piece of that too. I'm going to be able to maybe be part of this league, be able to get some revenue as well. So they're appealing not only to the fans, but to the golfers and to the tournament event managers, and saying, hey, you can own this. You're part of this. We're going to be partners on this enterprise. So I still see that, unless, like you're saying, the PGA Tour and the European Tour, but I'm going to say more the PGA Tour than the European Tour. If the PGA Tour really don't come with something that really can counter all these great things that the PGL, at least rumor-wise, on paper, or whatever they're trying to say so far, and we haven't seen anything official yet, I still think that they're going to lose some of these players there, because it's just too much. I don't know, but we'll talk about our World Tour and what they can do. But unless they really come together and create something that can counter all this, the PGL is going to be more than alive in a couple of years.
Just a couple of points I want to address before we sign off. Number one is that the way the PGA Tour is constructed today, the players are only allowed 3 buys. So if they want to go play in a European Tour event or go play in some other event that's scheduled on the same week that a PGA Tour event is being played, they have to get a permission slip from the PGA Tour to go and do that. They only get 3 of those a year. They have to play in 15 PGA Tour events a year. So if they played 15 PGA Tour events and 18 PGL events, that's 33 events. That's a lot of golf. They're not going to do that, okay? The other thing is that they aren't going to have the freedom. The 18 events that the PGL, the Premier Golf League holds, those guys are committed. Those 48 are committed to playing that. They got to be sick or on their deathbed not to go play. They got to do it. Right now, with all these independent contractors on the PGA Tour and the European Tour, they pick and choose where they want to play. Yeah, they got to play 12 events if they're on the European Tour to keep their card. They got to play 15 on the PGA Tour to keep their card, but that's it. And then the other thing is they just got to have the money requirement to be in the top 125. The other thing, Carlos, is that they would be walking away from, the top players especially, they want to measure themselves against the former greats. They want to find their place in the history of the game. If they walk away from the PGA Tour to the PGL, there's no history there. Who's going to build that history? They're going to be starting from scratch. They're not going to be ranked against Ben Hogan. They're not going to be ranked against Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods. It's a whole different ball game. So if you're a top player, you want to see how you rank among those great players. That's not going to happen at the PGL.
I can counter that by saying, hey, but I'm starting new history as well. So because I'm the pioneer of this league, how am I going to remember? I'm going to be remembered as one of those who jumped ship and started this new great thing. And hey, I'm willing to do that. Everyone can agree. I think that we know that the PGL is going to be moving forward. That might not be the worst thing in golf, because whatever happens in the future, right? If it comes to fruition, whether the money gets settled, the bans get banned, and the players start jumping ship, that remains to be seen. But definitely and hopefully, I think this will lead to a better product in golf. We're having conversations about this that will lead to some discussions. The big players, the big time players are gonna get together. Something will come out of this, and that's what I'm looking forward to, continuing this conversation and see what the better product of golf is. I think it's in a great place right now, golf, with all the promotions and all the Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka stuff, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady, everybody else jumping into this media. So the exposure is there. Now is the time to get together and let the egos be apart, because that's what I think is playing a lot of hair. And let's think about golf moving forward and set up a great product for everyone.
I'm with you, and I agree. And I think it's been so much fun already. I can't wait to hear more and learn more about it. And we're going to bring it to you. That's for sure.
We definitely will, and we thank you one more time for joining us. This is an in progress situation. We're going to continue to talk about it as it comes.
A continuing report.
Yes, and don't forget, we're going to talk about our world tour, which we talked about last year. We're going to bring that pretty soon. Hey, Keith Pelly, Jay Monahan, give us a call. We'll talk to you. But anyway, keep in touch with us. Keep track with us. Subscribe to our channel so you can stay in touch with the latest in golf news and information. Also, follow us on Twitter. Our ID is at Back9 Report with the number 9 in the middle. Thank you for joining us.